close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the way your chest rises, how your heart quietly listens in the stillness. In this space, before the noise begins again, let us ask, what is Islam really about? Not the Islam you've seen through headlines, not the one that's argued over in comment sections, but the one that lives quietly, the one that whispers before dawn, the one that shapes hearts and polishes souls. Islam is a return, a soft turning of your face toward the one who made you, not as a stranger, but as one finally coming home. In Arabic, Islam shares its root with salam, peace. But not peace as the world defines it, not just the absence of war. Rather peace as the soul feels it, a stillness, a surrender, a silence that says, I trust you. You see, Islam is not a burden upon the back. It's the dropping of burdens from your shoulders. It's the reminder that you are not alone in carrying life. It begins not with rituals, but with a word. La ilaha illa Allah. There is no God but Allah. A truth so simple, so grand, it can change everything. This is not a statement of dominance, but of deep clarity, that nothing else deserves to own your fears, your desires, your goals, your grief, except the one who shaped your heart in the secret of the womb. And from this breath of belief comes movement, gentle, rhythmic movements. 5 times a day, your body remembers. It stands, bows, whispers, prostrates. Prayer in Islam is not a task, it is a meeting, like a lover returning to their beloved. Imam al-Ghazali once wrote, prayer is the ascension of the believer. He meant that when you pray with your whole being, your soul rises beyond the noise of the world, beyond the fear, beyond the ache. You become lighter. You remember who you are. Islam is a map, but it is also a compass. It doesn't only tell you where to go. It realigns you to who you were meant to be. When Prophet Muhammad received the first revelation, he wasn't told to conquer. He wasn't told to judge. He was told, read, or more deeply, recite, in the name of your Lord, who created. Surah Al-Alaq, 96:1. This is where Islam begins, with knowledge, with awakening, with your voice rising again, soft, sacred, alive. Islam is about remembrance. Dhikr, to remember Allah not just with your tongue, but with your walk, your words, your waiting. The Quran speaks of those who remember Allah, while standing, sitting, and lying on their sides. 3:191. Because remembrance is not a place, it is a presence. So what is Islam really about? It is about becoming aware, not just of God above, but of God within the design of every leaf, every ache in your bones, every silence in your day. A poet once said, God is not the shout, he is the space between the notes. Islam invites you to listen to that space, to slow down, to unclench your jaw, to notice the way your soul has been aching for something more, and then to gently answer that ache. You see, Islam is not just a faith. It is a way of seeing, a way of walking through the world, with humility, with wonder. It tells you that even the smallest action, smiling at your neighbor, removing a thorn from the road, feeding a cat, is seen by Allah, cherished, rewarded. Islam is about Tawheed, not just the belief in one God, but the unification of all parts of your life. Under His care, no more living split in two, one self for the world, another for the soul. In Islam, they merge. You become whole again. So when you hear the call to prayer echoing, Hayya ala Salah, come to prayer. It's not just calling your body to move, it's calling your soul back home. And what of the rules, the boundaries? Are they chains? Or could they be lanterns in a dark forest? Limits in Islam are not punishments. They are protections, like the way a mother tells her child not to touch the fire. Not because she wants control, but because she loves. Allah is not a distant king. He is Al-Wadud, the most loving. He knows the tremble in your voice before you speak. He sees the tear you hide from others. He tells you, I am closer to you than your jugular vein. Surah Kaf 50:16. So Islam is not cold. It is warmth on a winter morning. It is water after thirst. It is the feeling that someone always sees you and loves you anyway. Many think Islam is only about Muslims, but Islam speaks to the fitrah in all humans, the original purity, the inner compass. Even before labels, there is something in you that recognizes truth. When you hear the Quran, when you see someone in sujood, something inside whispers, I know this. Because you are created with this knowing. Islam is not man-made. It is heart-shaped. It is a return to the natural state of surrender, like the way rivers run to the sea, like the way the moon listens to gravity. And yes, Islam includes fasting, charity, pilgrimage, but not as burdens, as reminders. Fasting reminds you of your hunger and of others. Charity reminds you that your wealth is not yours alone. Hajj reminds you that all of humanity is one, in white cloth on equal ground, moving toward the same center, even death. Even that final moment, Islam does not ignore. It prepares you for it. Not in fear, but in hope. The Quran describes the believers as those who say, Indeed, we belong to Allah, and to Him we return. 2:156. What a beautiful way to live, knowing you're just walking home. And perhaps that's what Islam is at its core, a home for the restless heart, a home for the questioning mind, a home for the broken, the hopeful, the ordinary soul trying to be better. So the next time you wonder what Islam is, don't look first at the headlines, or the hashtags, or even the harsh voices that misrepresent it. Look instead at the one who wakes up before sunrise, who washes in silence, who stands alone facing the east, and whispers, Allahu Akbar, God is greater, greater than your fear, greater than your past, greater than everything, and that is where it begins, in the quiet, in the turning, in the knowing. And so, dear listener, let your heart linger in this stillness a little longer. Let your mind carry this gentle thread of surrender through your day. Islam is not something you wear. It is something you remember, something you breathe, and maybe, just maybe, it has been calling to you all along.
Not to do more,
But to be whole, to be present, to be held by the one who never leaves. And so the question remains, if Islam is home, will you answer the door?